Upon arriving in Saudi Arabia, these Filipinos found themselves in the midst of development boom taking place in the kingdom.
Those were the golden years of Saudi Arabia. Those were the years where people are like picking money from the tree. Okay, so therefore, the companies that are employing expatriates during those years are foreign companies. They pay good money, they get good people. They're spread out all across the kingdoms. Wherever there are developments, there will be Filipinos.
But though lucrative, the cultural differences between Saudi Arabia and the Philippines are striking, and this is made apparent almost immediately.
That time, Saudi Arabia is like a Monday, so gloomy, scary, because it's nothing around. From the airport to Al Jubail, nothing. Zero, is desolate.
Pagdating ko doon sa Saudi, pagbukas ng aeroplano, yung ano yun May is summer. So yung buga ng mainit na hangin, hindi pang iba sa Pilipinas. Suddenly yung realization na dumating sa akin ang layo ko na sa pamilya ko. Isang taon akong nagtatrabaho rito, away from my family. Yung homesickness ba? Ganun pala Tapos yun nga, nakita ko ibang-iba yung culture nila. Nakasuka na yung mga lalaki. At hindi ko naintindihan yung language. Ang Arabo pag nagsalita, parang galit. Normal sa kanila yan. So, sa isang foreigner na Pilipino na hindi naman dominant society tayo, halimbawa, threatening. Ganun ang dating sa akin. Pero yung homesickness, grabe yung pag-settle sa akin. Agad-agad.
To the Filipinos, many of the religious restrictions and cultural norms practiced in Saudi appear very strange and peculiar.
You cannot drink alcohol, you cannot eat pork, you cannot socialize with the person of the other sex unless they're your family members. And of course, the kind of magazines that you cannot bring in, religious articles, the practice of your faith.
Nagdala ko ng Bible kahit sinabi nila bawal. Nakalusot naman sa immigration. Actually, mahilig akong magbasa. Pagdating ko doon, nakita kung gaano kahigpit yung immigration official. Ginawa ko yung ibang pakibooks ko. Pinatay ko sa Bible. Nung turn ko na na-inspectionin yung bag ko, sinubo ko na kaagad yun. Sadik means friend. Books. Sabi na, okay, hindi na niya tinignan. So nakalusot yung Bible.
We Filipinos are kind of joyous, we're carefree and all that. Now, when you're in Saudi Arabia, half of your mind is in your work and half of it is in the restrictions. You have to keep in mind always. Sometimes you have to remember not to smile, not to talk, because impulse you might say, oh, kabayan, then you are in trouble.
Pag kumakain ka sa restaurant, tapos dumating yung prayer time, kailangan kang lumabas. Dapat talagang sarado yung business. Although ang ginagawa ng ibang restaurant, in respect sa mga kumakain, isinasara na lang yung restaurant. Kumakain pa rin yun. Sa loob yung patay yung ilaw. Pero may mga narinig akong cases na pinasok ng mutawa, yung religious police, yung restaurant at hinuli yung mga kumakain sila.
The fact that these Filipinos were outsiders, many of them suffered from injustices in Saudi society.
Ang trial is, you will undergo trial to prove your innocence. Ganun lang. Pag wala kang medyo connection, kawawa ka.
Remember that in Saudi Arabia, it was only in 1952 that slavery was disallowed. Ibig sabihin, people of my age, if you're my mate, my mental frame is, akin ka. Slave kita, I can do anything in you.
And most of the time, the government is helpless in providing assistance to these distressed Filipinos.
we have a very weak government, so we're always on the weak side of the negotiating table. So well, they do what they can do. They try to do their best under the circumstances.
Una-una, let's talk about OWA. Kasi private contract yan eh. Diba? The private contract in this company is not government contract. So dapat ang papabalik sa'yo, yung agency mo, yung employer mo. But since hindi nagagawa ito, government spends money. But definitely, it is not the duty naman talaga eh. But it is just a matter of the rights. Kasi sa Constitution, nakalagay, the government should help. It should assist the Republic of the Philippines. And one of the helping is to bring them back. Nakatungkulan to ng ahensya, hindi nagagawa. Maybe the government will advance the money, pero hindi nagkukolekta sa agency, yung problema. See? So, lugi din. Kung titinan mo, lugi din ng gobyerno.
In their work, Filipinos also get a taste of the sheer prejudices and inequalities present in the Saudi society.
Unlike in America or Europe or Japan, they will pay you according to your skill, regardless of what color you are. But this country, talagang may discrimination sila.
In terms of pay, a Westerner doing the same kind of job that a Filipino is doing might get paid 10 times than what the Filipino is getting, but they're just doing the same thing, the same job. Okay. In terms of accommodation, the Westerners would get a lot better accommodation than the Filipinos. Filipinos would be put in a camp. Well, it's nice and decent, perhaps better than what they have here in the Philippines, but still, as compared to the Westerners get a room or a flat of their own with everything, while Filipinos might be sharing foreign room.
Kami engineers, yung mga counterpart namin engineers din. Yung lalo ng mga American. We're doing the work that they're doing. Pareho lang, pero grabe yan. Pagdating ng sahod, payday, ang haba ng pila ng Pilipino doon sa accounting. Kukonti yung pila ng mga Amerikano. Pero ako, pipila ako doon sa mahaba. Kasi kahit mahaba yan, ang bilis ng kasi ganito lang kanipis yung binibilang na eh doon sa kabila, ganito kakapal yung binibilang at tagal. Yung Arab nationals din, mas malalaki rin ang sahod nila, pero yung Americans ay hindi naglalayo.
Discrimination is always there. There will always be discrimination. And especially so in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, discrimination there is so open. You get discriminated openly. Unlike in other places where they try to hide, even in the U.S., discrimination is illegal. It still happens. But it's so subtle that you normally do not notice it. Same thing in Western Europe. Discrimination is illegal, but it happens. Less subtle. In the Middle East, it's widespread, it's out in the open.
Aside from the discrimination in salaries, many Filipinos also face other kinds of problems in their work.
Very long hours, long working hours, difficult workplace, a dangerous workplace, and then not being paid on time, not being allowed their supposed day off, and perhaps a very cruel superiors. Okay, the most what happens, what the Filipinos do is they run away.
Yung living conditions ng mga Pilipino sa labas, talagang nakakaawa minsan, lalo na yung mga nagtatrabaho sa restaurant. 16 hours halos ang kanilang trabaho.